Good evening, SVYFL Hawks family. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday and excited for the first day of full pads coming up tomorrow. My name is Jeremy Sheffy. I'm also known as Coach Sheffy. I'm the tackle director here at SVYFL, and I'm going to be covering a few things for tackle and cheer for this up and coming season. We're super excited to get started tomorrow, but we just wanted to make sure that since we didn't have our parent meeting, I can at least talk to a few points that'll be important in the upcoming season, some things to highlight, and then um, just keep you guys generally up to date the best we can. So thank you, first of all, to the parents and players, and especially our coaches and volunteers that helped us out over the last 8-10 weeks or so since we started our summer conditioning. It's great to see you guys out there. Great job to all the kids. We saw a lot of improvement. Thank you to Uber Zadi, who did some training for us as well. And thank you to all of our sponsors, because without you, we would not have a league. So thank you, everyone, for all of your help. Also, just wanted to start out by talking a little bit about practices. So practice starts tomorrow, full pad, and it is mandatory practices. If your son or daughter doesn't come to practice, they very well may not play. Football is a sport where everybody's got to be coordinated and everybody needs to be on the same page at all times. It's truly the only truly team sport, in my opinion, where you can't just win by having one great player. You have to have 11 people doing everything all at the same time. Obviously, same goes for cheer. Cheerleaders need to know the routine. So please make sure you're at practice. If you're not going to make it, get a hold of coach, talk to them about it, just so that they're aware. They also need to know if you're not going to come, because for some reason we have a bunch of people missing at once. They may need to reschedule the practice. With that being said, practices are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. You do need to arrive before 6, though. We have a lot of kids showing up to the field, not dressed, not ready. Plan to be there between 5:30, 5:45 at the latest, so your players have time to get dressed, get their shoulder pads on, and get ready for practice. With that being said, there's a few things, housekeeping items we have to talk about tonight. One of which is our certification payments and required documents. So if you haven't already, before you will be allowed on the field tomorrow, and we will be turning players back to the car if this isn't the case. I need to make sure that everyone has updated and finalized their payments. If you're on a payment plan, that's okay. Just make sure it's up to date, and talk to us if you have any questions. Our VP, Dominica, will be more than happy to work with you on all that. Also, this goes for coaches and players. You need to upload all the required documents into Sport Connect. Make sure that I'm sorry, League Magic. Just make sure all that stuff's uploaded. If you're not sure, again, shoot us an email, let us know. But if we don't have that in there, we can't certify them, and therefore they can't play. Um, there are 3 certifications statuses that you'll be able to see in there. It'll say action required, certification pending, or certified. If you are not certification pending or certified, your player will not be able to participate. Let's see here. Also, there will be a Google form coming out along with this message as well. You will need to acknowledge that form. On the form, it's going to have a player and parent agreement, which includes a conduct policy and equipment policy. We've done this in the past. However, with League Magic, we do not have the ability to add documents like we did when we were with Pop Warner. So please get that back so your player can participate. Without it, they will not be able to. A couple of things that need to come up and we need to talk about. It's not the fun part, but unfortunately, there is some conduct expectations that we do need to set, because like any sport, it can get a little heated out there, and we need to make sure that folks know what is going to happen if they don't act the right way. SVYFL, we want to have a league that puts the children first and is safe, but not just safe from a play perspective, but also a safe place for the players, the coaches, the officials during games and practice time. So if there's any abusive, obscene, or insulting language towards officials, players, coaches, opposing teams, or league, you can and will be asked to leave the field if it gets out of hand. We don't want to do that. We want everybody to have fun, but if you get a little bit out of hand, it can and will be handled. ACY has been very upfront with us that cursing at the officials can result in penalties to the team, the removal of the head coach, and or removal of parents and other participants as well. So we don't want to be that team. We want to be the league we win. We don't have to talk about it. We're supportive. And that goes for your social media as well. If we can't have folks out there making the league look bad. Maybe talking poorly about children or coaches or officials. Just if it, it's like your mom told you growing up. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Have fun, cheer, and basically just have a good time. That's what we're here for. It's all about the kids. One very important rule, and we've been a little laxed about this one throughout the summer so far, but now that we're getting in pads, we're going to take this very serious. And this is for the safety of the children, but it's also part of our agreement with the VRP. If you are not a badged coach, board member, or volunteer, you are not allowed on the field, and it needs to be a badge from this season. And what that means is you've been level 2 background checked, as well as some other requirements. And this goes for during games, this goes for practices, events. Unless we come out and say, hey, mom and dad, please come to the field, you do need to stay outside the fence. Unfortunately, this also means if there is an injury during play or practice, you need to stay outside the fence. We have trained professionals that are going to help your child and make sure that they get the attention they need. And if need be, we'll come get you so that you can be with them. This is just to prevent any unnecessary confusion. Sometimes kids get hit and it looks worse than it really is, and we don't really want to make them startled any more than we have to. But don't worry, mom and dad. If it's serious, we'll come get you. Another thing with the fields is you or a representative of your household needs to be at the field for the entirety of practice. We do know it's a 2-hour practice, and it's a long time to sit in the car or to sit around the fence when it's hot out, and it's very tempting to run over to the avenues. It's fine if you want to do that, but make sure there's somebody there to be your child's advocate. Should they get hurt? Should there be lightning? This summer, we had one instance where there was lightning, and we had parents coming an hour later, and we had to cancel practice early. So we can't have that. It's a safety issue, as well as if coach needs you for something, someone needs to be there to speak with the coach. Um, let's see here. Also, as we get into the season and we get to things like the play time, or when we talked about that conduct, if there is an issue and you're maybe not too happy about it, it happens all the time. But we do impose a 24-hour rule. This is so that all parties can calm down and basically speak to each other with a level head 24 hours later. So if you do have an issue, please wait 24 hours, then address it. A lot of times, by the time 24 hours goes by, the issue may have already resolved itself. You just never know. But if you do have an issue, please come to your position coach first. If the position coach isn't available, talk to the head coach. If the head coach isn't available or doesn't remedy what you need done, you can feel free to come to me. I'm the tackle director. And if something still needs addressed, you can talk with Dominica or Adam as well. We all talk about things behind the scenes anyway to make sure they get solved as quickly and as effectively as possible. As far as the game schedules go, I know a lot of folks are wondering what the game schedule is going to be. We don't know that yet. In fact, here in about 30 minutes, I'm going to the president's meeting for ACY to talk about that. I don't expect to have that until probably right before the Jamboree, which is going to be August 8th. We do not have times for that yet, but when it does come out, we'll get it to you as soon as possible. So for all you planners, you can get to planning. I would just make sure you plan to be at a football field on Saturdays from now until the end of the season, which is generally around October. From a volunteers perspective, we do need volunteers on game days for setup, takedown. We're going to need volunteers for things like concessions, gates, chains, cleanup, all those good things. So we do hope that we won't have to chase people down, but we do need volunteers. We're all volunteers, myself, Adam, our commissioner, Dominica, our VP, all the way down to the coaches themselves. We do it because we love the kids, but we still need a little extra help. So please volunteer and help out. And it's a fun way to get a little closer to the field, and a good way for you to be part of the league and get to know what's going on. As far as cheer goes, we are still pending a cheer director. Dominica, our VP's acting cheer director at the moment. But if anyone's interested in being a cheer director, which means you get a seat on the executive board and the ability to make changes and influence our cheer program and help these young women out and enjoy the sport of cheer, we would love to talk to you. We also have a cheer coach opening at our youngest age group. We are going to end up having 4 age groups this year, which is great. We have a little over 40 girls, which is one of our better numbers in recent history. So if anyone's interested or in having some fun with those girls on the sideline, we do need one cheer coach as well. Please reach out to myself, Adam, or Dominica, and we'll get you in the conversation. From an equipment standpoint, this is an important one. If they don't have their equipment from a football standpoint, they cannot play. This goes for games as well as practice. They must have shoulder pads and helmets. The league provides those. They also must have a mouthpiece that connects to the helmet, so there has to be a tether on it. They have to have cleats, and they have to have practice pants with integrated pads and practice jerseys. If they do not have a practice jersey, they cannot practice. The pads will pinch other players and hurt them, so it's a safety issue. The other thing that gets forgotten quite often, which is not good here in Florida, especially when it's 95 degrees out and humid, but you do need a half-gallon of water for football players. The cheerleaders, I believe, can have 32 ounces, but we need lots of water. Bring more water than you think you'll need, because when these guys start sweating, we just don't need any injuries from heat exhaustion. Those things can creep up on you quick and be life-threatening. So half-gallon of water. With that being said, what we do practice is every 30 minutes, the players should be getting about a 5-minute break where they take their helmets off and cool down. That is a safety thing that all the coaches have. We also have been trained in what to look for heat exhaustion and those kind of injuries, as well as concussions. All of your coaches are certified in that. So just know that we are watching and trying to pay as close attention as we can. If your equipment's damaged, please let us know immediately. Don't wait until Monday after a game on Saturday. Let the coach know on Saturday so we can go find you a helmet. We don't want anybody to not have their gear. So as far as face shields go, they are legal in this league. However, they have to be absolutely clear. No sheen, no tint, no coloring. It has to be a truly clear face shield. In my opinion, in this heat in Florida, if it doesn't have any sun protection on it, it's not worth the extra heat that gets in that helmet. So your choice, but we don't provide them as a league. If you want one, you can pick one up, but it has to be clear. Other than that, your uniforms, we will be providing you integrated pants with pads for both home and away, as well as your jerseys for the season. They have not come in yet. Once they do, we'll hand them out. Which, if you have not given your sizes in or turned your sizes in, please do that with your final payment and let Coach know as soon as possible. We just ordered our second run of jerseys, and if we don't get a third run in soon, they may not be here in time for the season. One question that keeps coming up in regards to football is, what is the NPR requirement? Technically, the NPR requirement for ACY is a minimum of 4 plays per child. That being said, coach wants all your kids to play as much as possible. We all do. Games go by quick sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't happen the way we'd like to. We're going to try and follow the same NPR rules we did in Pop Warner. However, when it comes to playtime, there's a few things that you guys need to know and remember. One of which is that playtime does come from practice. If your child chooses to goof off in practice, not pay attention, or isn't coming to practice, it is very possible that they won't get as much playtime as you would like them to. We obviously want kids to get playing time, but if they're don't know what to do, it's hard to put them on the field. They're also their conduct and the way they conduct themselves with their teammates and coaches. If they're rude and not respectful, or harassing other players or making it hard for them to have practice, they may not get as much playtime. It's just part of it. Again, we don't want that. There's a lot of factors that go into playing time. Your coaches will go over some of that probably in their meeting with you, but just know that we want your kids to play as much as possible. My directions to the coaches are, once you get up enough to where you're not going to lose, or you're down enough to where you're not going to win, start getting kids extra playing time. Let them get that game experience. Another thing to talk about here, just to make sure you guys know, is on game day, expect to be at the field about an hour and a half before your scheduled game. Typically, the younger players do play first, so I expect the 6U to probably kick off around 8 or 9 a.m., and then from there, the games are about 2 hours apart. With that being said, coaches will want you there a little bit early, probably an hour and a half early. That way you can do several things. One is warm up, have a little bit of practice time, go over some things, game planning, things like that. But we also have to check in, which means we have to go certify every single game. And if your player's not there for check-in, they can't play. So some of our games, well, actually, none of our games are that far away anymore. Thankfully, we're not, since we left Pop Warner, we will be in mostly Brevard County. With that being said, just so you guys do know, your furthest game possible, if we're even scheduled for them, would be Okeechobee, which is about an hour from here. So most our travel will be within that 30-minute range, most likely. But, you know, just plan accordingly, plan for traffic, get there early. And we encourage you guys to stay for the whole day or as much of the day as you can. Enjoy it, cheer on the other Hawk teams, and have a nice Saturday of football. Um, Last thing that I need to bring up, or two more things, and then I'll let you guys go. One is communication. Listen, Game Changer isn't perfect, but it's a great application, and that's one we use in this league. So if you do not know what's going on, most likely you're not in Game Changer, which means you're probably not listening to this video right now. So get in Game Changer. That's where the coaches give all of their updates, scheduling. That's where you guys will see all of the game times and all the information you need. If you have any questions, you can always DM folks. My encouragement on Game Changer if you is to kind of keep the chatter down and DM each other a little bit, because sometimes the important updates get lost in the chatter. But of course, feel free to have fun, root on your players, teams, coaches, everything. And as I mentioned before with the conduct policy, please do use discretion in Game Changer. If you have an issue, please go directly to your head coach. Don't air your dirty laundry to everyone. Um, and then the final update is we are going to be doing a fire sale in the next upcoming weeks. Be on the lookout for that. We're going to be heavily discounting a lot of merchandise that we have in our trailer so we can clear some space for new stuff. And we're also going to be pre-ordering custom Hawks gear this year. So we have lots of great merch like warm-ups and whatnot that you can put your child's number and name on. And they're all going to want a pair. And then we have some other really cool stuff that's coming out as well that will all match our game day jerseys and um, be really cool. So we're excited for the season, excited for the kids. Again, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me ramble for the last, looks like about 16 minutes, 17 minutes now. And we appreciate your support. We are a volunteer organization, all of us. So if you need something, please ask and please feel free to participate. And listen, we're looking forward to a great season of development, safety, and fun. And if you guys need anything, please reach out. My email is tackle@SVYFL. For general information, you can email info@SVYFL. And for cheer information, you can email cheer@SVYFL. We're very communicative, and we'll get back to you more than likely within 24 hours. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you out on the field.